Welcome once again to Around the Conference. I'm your host, Paul Scavella, and it's always a privilege for us to be able to be allowed into your homes through this medium. Today we're going to be talking about youth empowerment, youth involvement, youth dedication for Christ. And joining me on the program today is a young lady who loves the Lord and one who has dedicated her life to the service of God. Briel Jacques, welcome.
Thank you, Pastor.
Today we're going to talk about young people.
Yes.
And we want to talk about God and young people and their desires, their service, their lives.
Yes, sir.
Statistics tell us that probably near to 60% of our church population fall within the category of youth,
Yes.
between the ages of 16 to 35.
Yes, sir.
And we're also concerned about some of our statistics because they tell us that while we have a great portion of our church membership in that area, that we're also losing many of them, especially our teenagers. As a young person, you've grown in the church. I think we would say born
Yes, sir.
in the church. Tell me a little bit about your perspective, your relationship with the church, with God. How do you see the church and how it relates to young people?
Well, I see that in our churches we have a lot of youth programs going on. And for me personally, growing up, always being involved in some aspect or some youth program was what kept me grounded, I guess you can say. And that's separate and apart from Bible study and reading and understanding more of what I believe in.
Right.
And being involved in the youth programs definitely continuously keep me in the church now, even at this present moment.
As you would have traversed from a child to this point in your life, are there any significant moments that stand out in your mind that you look back and say, boy, yeah, I remember when, or I remember that?
There are a few moments and a lot of people as well.
Okay.
That definitely impacted my life, coming up through the church through the years. When we came over here from Freeport, I can remember going to Pathfinders and Mr. Jennings, and he's still in Pathfinders to this day, and that's a few years back. And he was one that was always there, always around the youth, and just keeping us involved and pushing us to do better in whatever aspect.
And they call him Uncle Ray.
Yes,
Yeah.
Uncle Ray.
He certainly loves that.
Yes, a lovable man as well.
Now, you mentioned earlier that the youth work helped to keep you grounded.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that you said outside of Bible study. And do you think that our young people, I don't know, what are your views? Do you think they spend sufficient time in that aspect of their relationship with Christ in terms of the studying of the Word and being grounded in the Word?
I really can't say, but I do know that during the ages of 16 to about 20, 21, you're finding yourself, I guess you can say, getting used to what it is that you like, you don't like. And Bible study is something that I think it comes with an understanding. You want to learn more. You want to allow yourself to be able to understand something and be able to explain it to other persons. So you take that initiative to go and read and go to Bible studies. And as you get older, I think it comes with more time.
Yeah.
Our young people, some I can say that they are definitely wanting to be a part of Bible studies. But you know, you have the little distractions and things like that. So it comes with maturity as well, to an age.
Yeah. Great. I guess when we think about the text, train the child in the way it should go,
Yeah.
when it's old,
Yes,
they will
sir.
not depart
Yes, sir.
from it. And so it's important to spend that time in the early formative years,
Yes, definitely.
Ellen White would say, with our children.
Most definitely.
As you would have spent time with the Lord in the area of Bible study and in church at Sabbath school and with all these activities, were there any, or are there any, is there one or two texts that kind of you hug close to yourself as a young person?
Well, the text that comes to mind, and I am sure that this is a text that everybody knows, John 3 and verse 16. I hold that text dear to myself because there's something powerful about one individual who came to just die for my sins. And if it is that somebody loves me that much, for me personally, love is very important.
Yeah.
And if it is that we know that there's somebody who's died and given their life for us, I think that for me personally, I should dedicate myself to that individual, to Christ himself.
Okay.
So,
When you think about your home, what are some of the values that, were part of your life growing up as you watched in the home? The compass points that leaped out at you as a child when you looked at your environment, your home that you grew up in.
well, with my parents, it was always, we stayed with our parents. They wouldn't allow us to go by anybody by ourselves. We were
Right.
always with our parents, and
So
that was
family
something,
is
yes,
important.
very important. And staying close together,
Okay.
And then also growing up, it was always being involved in something inside of church.
Okay.
Whether Pathfinders, youth choir, going to AY, anything happening at church, we were
So
there.
they're committed to church.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate my parents for allowing us to be able to gain those experiences, separate and apart from going to school and all those other things on the side. We were pushed to be a part of these. Even if you didn't want to, you
Right.
go in there.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Now, when it comes to your educational life, because you are now finished with school,
Yes, sir.
but how did you, or where did you find yourself school-wise
Well,
from young to now?
Okay, from young, I went to Grand Bahamas Academy,
Okay.
and we lived in Freeport. Then when we came to Nassau, I went to Bahamas Academy, and I graduated there in 2008. And then I went to UB, which was formerly known as COB.
Right. And what
Yes.
did you pursue?
I studied early childhood education.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you're in the teaching profession.
Yes, sir. I teach 3-year-olds.
Should we say that you followed in the footsteps of your mother?
Yes, sir. My mother, who taught for many, many years.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
sir.
think she's been in that field all her life.
Yes.
Yeah, one of our outstanding educators here in the conference. I noticed over the years, my eye kind of zoomed in on you a couple years back
Okay.
in the Pathfinder band.
Oh.
And the reason why I took note of you is because of what you were holding in your hand.
Yes.
It's called
The trombone.
the trombone.
Yes, sir.
And of course, the reason why that attracted me a little more than the others is because I'm also a trombonist.
Oh, wonderful.
And for years, here in this conference, when it was Bahamas conference, and in the early days, I was the only one who played the trombone.
Oh,
And so when
wow.
I saw you with that trombone and I saw others with the trombone, I said, yay!
Yes, the
So
trombone family.
What made you choose the trombone, or they had no
Well-
other instruments to play?
The reason I decided to play the trombone, well, I first started at Hillview's band.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Jennings again. He started a band at Hillview, and there were all the different instruments: clarinets, flutes, drums, everything. I tried them all: clarinet, drums, and then one day I said, well, all the guys are playing trombones and trumpets and stuff, and I don't see any females, so I'm gonna go ahead and try the trombone.
It was not exclusive to males.
No, no, not at all. And at the time, I was the only female playing trombone, and then I went to the Pathfinder band, and I was the only female there playing the trombone when I went there. And now we have another female playing trombone. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So you've become a mentor for someone else.
I hope so.
And you still play, you're very active
Yes, sir.
in the Pathfinder band, and I noticed, your passion.
Yes, young people.
Yeah.
I love being around young people.
Yeah. Great. So, are there any exciting moments, maybe one, over your years as a young person that stands out in your mind, whether it be in the teaching profession or in school, or some encounter that would be beneficial to those of our young people who are watching, that might have taught you a lesson?
Well, there's so many different memories that I've learned lessons from, but I think that learning to play an instrument, that was definitely one. I've learned numerous lessons from playing an instrument. It takes time.
Takes time.
Takes dedication, a lot of hard work. Even now, being able to play a few notes,
Right.
I still have to keep pushing and still have to dedicate myself to practicing more. It's a lifelong lesson when you learn to play an instrument.
Right.
Yes.
And that's something that a lot of young people don't realize, that they see you on the stage and they hear the production,
Yes.
but they don't realize what goes
Through
you
the
go
time.
through, the time, the effort
Yes.
to get that,
Yes.
and sometimes you always want a quick fix.
Yes, patience.
Yeah.
You will definitely learn patience when trying to learn an instrument as well. So
Yeah.
it's a whole lot of life lessons that I think come from
Yeah.
getting involved, especially with music and learning to play an instrument.
I think that it also brings a level of discipline,
Definitely.
discipline to one's life
Yes.
as we develop these talents and abilities.
And also it allows you to be able to meet a whole lot of different people from different backgrounds. It's really amazing once you get into it. So I encourage all young people, try it.
Yeah.
Try it out.
Well, we're going to take a break right here.
Okay.
And we thank you for being here with us on Around the Conference. And we're going to just slip away for a minute. But we want you to be right back with us as we come back on the other side of this break.
Yes.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, one of the nation's large, if not the largest uniformed organization in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the Bahamas Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Churches Pathfinders Youth Organization.
In the book Messages to Young People, Ellen G. White refers to an army of youth rightly trained to share the Word of God. The Pathfinder organization is doing just that. From the 4-year-old preschooler to the 15-year-old teenager, we are preparing our young people to be equipped not only to share Jesus, but be prepared for the life to come. This organization prepares our youth through spiritual, physical, and outdoor activities in order to develop people of character and substance. Partner with us as we develop our youth to become servants of God and a friend to man.
Welcome once again to Around the Conference. I'm your host, Paul Scavella. We thank you for staying tuned and joining us here on this side of our program. Again, Briel Jacques is our very special guest, and we're just talking youth here today. Briel, we were discussing a little bit about you and your growth and your development. If I must say, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Because I've known you from,
Maybe.
and I continue to admire your dedication to the Lord.
Thank you.
and how you're maturing as a young lady. You've been intricately involved in the leadership aspect of the youth department here at South Bahamas Conference, and most recently in a number of areas. I know the band, you're always there, you're part of that leadership team.
Yes, sir.
But I've been seeing you in most recent times very active, and I must say, full of energy when it comes to a major event
Yes, a
for our
major
young people
event.
that is coming up.
Yes,
But
sir.
before we talk about that, our young people have been involved in so many activities.
Yes.
I mean, every time you turn around, there's
Something's
something
going
happening.
on, yes.
Besides the major event that we're going to be talking about in a minute, are there any other youth happenings that we can share with our audience?
Well, I could talk about the band.
Okay.
The band, we're going to be playing at Grandstown the third week in December.
Okay.
Yes, and then we'll be at Philadelphia the fourth Sabbath in December. Yes.
And I know that the band is always in need of support.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Anytime you see those pathfinders, just remember them in a very special way.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, we want to say very special thanks to the leader as well, or the leaders, Brother Kirk Price and his
Yes, sir.
team,
Yes, sir.
who've kept the fires of the Pathfinder band. And just recently, you all went to Grand Bahama, was it?
Yes, we
Been
went
there
to Grand
twice?
twice in 2 months.
You all on a jet?
Now we need one. We'll be gone every weekend, but
okay.
no, we don't own a jet. But we were in Grand Bahama for the National Youth March.
Okay,
Yes,
all
they, the Pathfinders over there, the directors, Peter Watson, Pastor
Yes,
Peter Watson,
yes.
invited us over, and it was awesome.
Right.
It's a different experience, but it was really good.
Great. And it gives you exposure.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely, and you meet different people.
Right.
Some
Who knows, you might meet your husband over there.
Oh. You never know. I know our young persons in the band, they would love to stay over there for
Okay.
a week.
All right.
They
yeah.
love it over there. Yes.
Grand Bahama is a great place, and the
It
people, the
is.
fellowship, the food.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
everything is wonderful. So we have this big event coming up. Tell us about
Yes,
that.
the big event
Yeah.
is the Youth Awards Banquet. And I have a flyer here. Yes, isn't it lovely?
It is.
Yes.
I see a black tie, a
yes,
white shirt,
tux.
tux.
The Oscars under the theme Salvation and Service. Yes. And the Youth Awards Banquet is going to be December 17th. And I'm very excited because it's something just for our youth. Something for them to relax. They've worked the entire year, and some place they'll come and relax and be able to get awards and little gifts and things like that. It's going to be an awesome event.
You know, we are told that when Jesus comes, that he will have his reward
Yes.
to give every man
Yes, sir.
according as his works or work would have been.
Yeah.
Not that the works would have gained them entrance.
No.
But when people are faithful, everybody can use a little encouragement
Yes, sir.
and, as it were, a pat on the back. So, wouldn't it stand to reason that everybody would have done something?
Yes, yes. And
So,
that's-
is there going to be something for everybody?
Yes, there's going to be plan on having something for everybody in attendance.
Okay.
So we want to invite all of our youth to come out. Everybody is going to have something something in hand by the end of the night.
Okay.
Yes.
So where is this going to take place?
It's going to be held at Atlantis, and it's going to be on the 17th of December.
The 17th of December.
Yes, that's a Sunday, and the red carpet starts at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
And where our young persons can come, take pictures with their friends, group photos. It's going to be really, really, really good. And then the ceremony starts at 6 o'clock.
Now, I understand that the function is under the patronage of our conference treasurer
Yes,
and his
sir.
wife. They have certainly given much of their time and effort
Yes, sir.
to the youth of our conference. And so that's certainly a wonderful thing that's happening in that regard.
Yes, sir.
So what role are you playing in all of this?
Oh, my role. I'm the special events coordinator for the youth department.
Okay.
So I'm just helping out where I can and getting things off the ground, getting things finalized. Yeah.
So you found it easy?
It's had some bumps along the way, but I love planning. So something like this, I have no issue doing it. I love doing
You
it.
love doing
Yes,
it,
and
yeah.
especially for our young people,
Yeah.
it makes it even more fulfilling.
That's one of the good things about the youth department, and any aspect of the church actually. When you find something that is your passion and you do it, it helps to improve
Yes.
the craft.
Yes.
And who knows where it could take you,
Yeah. So.
because it gives you exposure. People see you functioning, and the Bible reminds us that if we are faithful in that which is least, He will make us, not that we're looking to be ruler,
No.
but that's
Not
a
at
natural, and that your gifts will make room for you.
Yes. So.
And sometimes people don't understand that. They sit down and they say, like the parable, the person who had the one talent, said, I only have one talent.
Yes.
What can I do with this?
No.
But we're expected to use every talent, every gift that God has given to us.
Yes. So.
So on the 17th
Yes, the 17th.
at Paradise Island,
Yes,
Atlantis,
Yes. We're going to have
red
the youth.
carpet.
Yes, the youth awards.
Now tell me
banquet.
something. Suppose I'm 50
Yes.
and I want to come to this function. Am I invited?
Yes, you are.
I am?
Yes. Why not? Come out
I
and
mean, I
support
know,
the
you know.
young people.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And
And if you don't want to attend, you can sponsor a young person to go if you do not want to attend. But if you want to attend, that's no problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what about if I'm 12?
If you're 12, you can come as well.
Okay.
But if you're 12, that means you have to make sure that you're behaving yourself.
Okay.
Yes. We don't want anybody running up and down and all of that. We want a young person to come out and see how it is to be in a setting like that. We look at our younger children and say, oh, this isn't an event for them. But it actually is an event for them because they will see the older youth.
Yeah.
They will see our elders, everybody all together, and see how it is to sit in a banquet. How do you behave at a table? They can learn table etiquette at this event, It's a learning experience as well. So all are invited.
All are invited.
Yes, sir.
Suppose I have a friend who's not a member of the church.
Yes, sir.
Are they also invited?
I actually had one of my band members ask me that as well. Yes, they can come as well. Once they purchase a ticket, they're invited to come as well.
Right.
Because it allows persons who may not be an Adventist to see other Adventists together. How do we interact with each other? And our lives are supposed to be a witness as well. So they're invited as well.
So we have the banquet that concludes the year.
Yes, sir.
Are there any other folk who are helping you?
Yes,
With this?
we have an entire team. We have our youth director, Pastor Green.
Okay.
We have Brother Spence, Patrick Wilson. It's a long list. Kenisha, Benita,
When you start calling names,
Alexandria.
you're getting problems.
I'm going to try to remember everybody's name. We have Obed Dadas. We have, who else? think I said Patrick Wilson
Yes,
already.
you did that already.
We also have a banquet committee. Oh, we have Duran Clark.
All right.
We have Dawn Forbes assisting, Tamara Bain. We have Nicole Hepburn. We also have one more name I'm missing. Dawn, Tamara, myself. We said Obed, I
Yes,
think.
you did, yeah.
I hope I didn't leave out anybody.
Well, in the
Kenisha,
event you
Benito.
did, I'm sure they'll understand.
It's a big team,
Right,
but we're all
and
working
that's
together.
the point. I mean, it takes a team
Yes.
to make something like this happen.
Yes. Oh, Sister Monique.
Sister Monique.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Our
Yes.
youth choir leader.
Yes, Matthew's choir leader. Yes, sir.
Well, this sounds like a wonderful, excited team.
Yes.
And I'm sure that the evening is going to be one that folk will never forget.
Yes, one to remember.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, Bahamians are sometimes
Time-wise.
time-wise last minute.
Yes.
And maybe even some of our Caribbean folk, you know, we kind of laid back.
Yes, relax.
You know, so if somebody decides that they want to be a part of the banquet the day of the banquet,
Well, we're trying to encourage everybody to get their tickets early.
yeah, so
Because-
there's a cutoff date.
We're aiming for the end of the month, hopefully the first week in December.
Okay,
But if we have a dire situation,
there might be some grace.
might. But we want to encourage all of our youth, anybody who wants to attend,
Yeah.
to try their best to get their tickets early so that we would be able to plan well for them as well. It's like I said, we want everybody to get something at the end of the night.
Well, you sound like you have your hands full. But you know,
exciting.
we loves, as some folk would say, we loves our free things.
Yes.
Well, you know, Briel, it was such a joy talking with you and sharing
Also
with
with
this
you.
event, and we want all of our young people to be a part of it
Yes.
because, you know, we work hard,
Yes.
and hard work deserves reward.
Yes, sir.
And so we just want to pray that God will bless the event and the young people be encouraged and inspired.
Yes, sir.
Because this is their church. They're not the young people of tomorrow.
No,
they're
today.
they're the people of the church, the young people of the church today.
Yes, sir.
And so we just give God thanks. God bless you.
You too.
You continue to be the faithful servant that you are.
Yes, sir.
We want to say thanks to Briel and our entire youth department, Pastor Larry Green and his assistants, and all of those who work along with him to help to make our young people all that they can be in the army of the Lord. And before we close this evening, I just want to remind us of two other major events that are coming up. As a matter of fact, this very weekend on Saturday afternoon, Sabbath afternoon, at the Hillview Church at 4 o'clock, our CHAM department will be on display. All of our children's choirs. Wonderful time at Hillview Church. You don't want to miss that. And on December 10 through 16, our ministerial department will be celebrating our pastors and all of our members, our lay members here in the South Bahamas Conference, as John Bradshaw will be a very special guest from It Is Written. We'll have training programs in the days for our pastors and in the evenings for our members at large. That's on Sunday the 10th of December, right on through to the 16th of December. And so you want to listen up for all the details. You can check us on our website. You can call us here at the conference office. It'll be in our logos, in our newspaper, all of our outlets. And it's going to be a wonderful time. And you want to be a part of this training experience for our pastors and our lay members at large. So why don't you join us and experience the joy of the Lord? I'm your host, Paul Scavella, saying thank you once again for allowing us to be a part of your lives. And we look forward to seeing you again on Around the Conference.